Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 194 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. It is the weekend edition, and I've had some time this last week to work on my lathe and to continue the theme of turning in your golden years. We're going to shed some light on that subject today. So if you want to see what's going on in this video, all you need to do is stay tuned. Well, a little bit of a cheesy introduction to the fact that I put two LED lights on my lathe, but nonetheless, I think these LED lights are really important when you're turning because you need to look inside a bowl and all that stuff. It's really, really important to have good lighting. Now, in my shop, the inside floor area of my shop is about 900 square feet. And in that 900 square feet, I have 20 two-tube T5 fluorescent lights. My shop is pretty bright. It's well lit. But still, you know, when you're inside a bowl, and the other thing that I kind of tied my extended leverage for the locking levers that I did on the last video to allowing a senior or somebody in their golden years to be able to turn a little bit longer and a little bit easier. Well, my eyes ain't what they used to be. I'm finding that I need to have a lot of light. And when I'm working in the shop, like on general woodworking stuff, my lighting is really good in here. But when you, like I said before, you get into a bowl or something, a hollow vessel, which is what I'd really like to start doing, and I'm probably going to start building equipment towards doing that, it's important to have some extra light. Now, these are not stock Laguna lights. Most of the more developed lathe lines have accessories that you can buy that are designed to fit the lathe. Laguna has such. They have a dual arm. They're basically a solid piece, a hinge joint and a solid piece and another joint. And they look like good lights. The head looks exactly like these. I think the switch is on the back. Here, the switch is on the bottom. But there are a couple of things that I'm not a big fan of the stock Laguna lights. First of all, they're halogens. And halogens, in my experience with them, is they get pretty hot. They develop a lot of heat. And if you're doing a really, say, a thin wall hollow vessel or turning wet wood, that extra heat on the project can cause it to go out of round faster than normal. When we do a bowl class here, say a Hub City Turner class, and we're turning that first wet bowl, a lot of times, like when we take a break or something, we make sure all the lights are off, because even just a regular incandescent light will generate enough heat to cause things to change more quickly, which is something you don't want when you're turning wet wood. The other thing that I don't like about their system, but it works with their lathe because their lathe is built for it, their lathes or their lights are 220-volt lights. Yeah, there's two plugins right over here about, yeah, right there. And it should work really well, but I wish they were 110 plugs. So I was looking for 220-volt lights, and I couldn't find them. I thought this one was when I ordered it in 2021, but when I got here, it had a regular 110 plug, and unless I've missed something, I don't see any way to convert this to plug into there. So I'm not sure what happened with that, but often when you order things on the internet, they're not exactly they're not exactly advertised the way they should be. So anyway, I decided to go with these two lights. These are Amazon lights, and the search I used to find these was what did I use? Machine work lights or something to that effect. And these were the first two that came up. They're, first of all, they're LED, which I think is really a good thing to have. So they're fairly bright. This latest one I ordered, the stem isn't as good as this one is. This one stays in place better. This one wants to kind of droop when you get it to the place. Yeah, see, I don't like that. But I'm hoping, like this one I just put on a couple of days ago, I'm hoping that as I play with it and twist it, and it'll get better. Wishful thinking. But anyway, these, the Laguna lights retail, I think I'm looking at a Canadian website for Laguna, and I think they're actually on sale now, that two-arm light, for 149, I think it's Canadian dollars. These are 69.95 Canadian dollars. So I got two lights for the price of one, basically. Now, we're not quite out of the woods yet. I have to run some power to this. Right now, I just ran them down to the floor, or I ran the cord from the light down to the floor, plugged it into one extension cord and ran it to a plug-in on the wall there. I don't like that. I don't like cords underfoot. So I'm going to be changing that. And in order to show you that, I'm going to have to take the camera off the tripod and show you what my plan is there. So, but as far as I can tell, I think I'm going to be happy with these lights. They throw a fair amount of light, and having in the headstock and tailstock, see, this one doesn't quite want to stay, but I think that'll be good. And I'll get this to stay at. I don't know how, but I will. There we go. It's just a matter of getting to learn the light. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the camera off the stand, and I'm going to show you how I intend to run the electrical. I haven't done any of it yet, but it's coming. So anyway, here we go. And here we are. We've taken you off the tripod, and we're going mobile. Well, okay, I should really go back a little bit. I got a little ahead of myself. The kit from Amazon comes with an angle bracket that goes underneath the base here. These two bolts do not come with it. Those are about 1 inch, quarter 20 regular grade 5 bolts that I use to fasten to this piece here, this cast piece. The 4 screws or bolts that come with the kit attach it to the plate. So what you get when you order this particular light system is this angle bracket, these 4 bolts, and the light itself, okay? Now, that's the way I mounted it here because I had this vertical surface to work on. However, at the other end of the lathe, because I didn't have that vertical surface, I just took that off. I didn't use the angle bracket, drilled and tapped whatever size holes these are. I think they're M6, I think. And put that on, and then it's a nice clean install. They kind of look like they should come with the lathe, but like I said, the Laguna are halogens, and here's a close-up of what Laguna puts on this lathe. So there's two, I call them 220 volts, some call them 240. I don't think it really matters. It's the same thing, or more or less the same thing. Now, the one thing that I need to deal with yet is the electrical. And here's the cord from the light, and And this isn't the way I want this electrical to function in the end. This is just temporary to shoot the video and to show you a couple of things that way. But I have to make sure that I leave enough slack for the light on the tailstock to be able to, well, the tailstock will slide back and forth on the bed. So I need to make sure that I keep that in mind. The headstock one isn't as big a deal because the headstock usually doesn't move. Now this one has a movable headstock. I could do it, but I will keep that in mind because there have been times for turning bowls, I like to have it at that end so I can stand around the back of the lathe to turn bowls, which is nice. But I think what's going to happen, the way I'm thinking right now, is I'm going to take some type of an electrical box and mount it about there. And then now I've got to try to hold everything with one hand here. And probably something to that effect. We'll put two 110-volt plugs in there. That way I can do other things. I might actually find a way, like put something with some USB capability in as well, which might be handy sometime. And then the cord, like the two light cords, will come and plug in to here. And then this whole unit will plug in. And I haven't got this done yet. My neighbor, the electrician, will come one day, and you see the way we ran the 220 power down from the ceiling, it came off the conduit off the wall. We'll run a 110-volt circuit parallel to that or right alongside it, and we'll do a drop cord down to here, and then my cord to the plug-in will plug in like the lathe does. So that's kind of what I have in mind for this build. And I don't think it should take me that much longer to finish, but when I do finish it, I may come back and show you what I've done. Just noticed here too that, and I'm going to show you this right away. I might do some upcoming video on this. Maybe it's too little to pay, but this is a little confusing on my speed knob here, that it's got the plus sign on the right side and the minus or the slow side on the left. And to make this thing go faster, you're going to spin it. Well, here, let's go to the other one. It's the same way here. And you're going to spin it this way to go faster and this way to go slower. I had Trent, when he was turning here, asked me about that. Which way goes faster? And I thought, well, that's really, I had never even noticed it, really a confusing decal. So I think I'm going to get the boss to make a new decal and put it on here so that we get that right as well. But anyway, I think that's about all I need to show you on the lathe. But I think the lights are going to work out really quite nicely. There we go. Turned both of them on, and I think that's going to be great. So, okay, we're going to put you back on the tripod, and we're going to bring this movie to an end. Well, I think these lights are going to work out really good, and I saved a little bit of money doing it, although I haven't wired that yet. That shouldn't cost me a whole lot. But anyway, yeah, I think it's an improvement. It kind of goes nicely in line with the theme that I established with extending my locking levers. This is something that's going to make my lathe more user-friendly as potentially my eyesight and who knows what else deteriorates as I get older. So I think it's just a good thing to make your lathe or whatever tool you're working with, making it so that you can do good work on it without having to squint or without having to stand on something or whatever. Customizing your tools to fit your needs, I think, is a really, really good thing to do. So I'm to the point where this lathe is pretty much the way I want it. There is one thing that I'm going to build yet, or I think I'm going to build it, is an articulating arm for hollowing. I want to do some hollowing. Thin wall vessels are my goal. There are a couple of people in my turning area here that are really, really good at it. So I have the expertise at hand. I want to make use of that before that expertise is gone. So with that in mind, that brings this video to an end. Yeah, we've got, we got about 5 to 6 videos to go till we hit the 200 mark, which isn't a significant milestone for anybody except me. But we'll see. Maybe there'll be a bit of a break after that. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Please tell others about this. I think maybe it's worth it. I sure hope it is. Let me know in the comments if it is or if it isn't. I think I can handle the truth. Anyway, with that in mind, I know this is late Saturday evening. I hope I get this out tonight yet. But yeah, take care. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you in the middle of next week.